Coming up on City Spotlight, we're on location and featuring two communities, once again here in Season 10. First, we're in Teutopolis and sitting down with Teutopolis Mayor Dave Repking. Dave shares with us the newest additions in economic development in T-Town and the continued growth in the Prairieview Subdivision. Then we head to Cumberland County and Toledo as we talk Cumberland Schools with Cumberland Schools Superintendent Todd Butler. Todd gives us an update on the two buildings in the Cumberland School District and the latest programs and curriculum that are available for students in Cumberland schools. It's another City Spotlight episode on location and featuring not one but two communities, Teutopolis and Toledo. Next on City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com. And hello and welcome to another edition of City Spotlight. As you can see, we are on location once again here in Season 10, and it's another episode featuring not one but two communities. In this episode, we're going to start in Teutopolis, and we're back at a familiar spot, Village Hall, and we welcome back to the program the Village President, Mayor of Teutopolis, Dave Repking. Dave, great to have you on the program again.
Great for you guys to be here, and we appreciate your interest in Teutopolis.
Thank you so much. We're taping here at the end of January 2024. First time we tape with Dave, summer of 2021, so right. Great to be back in T-Town talking with Dave. And Dave, I want to first ask you about a kind of a sombering, not so pleasant event that took place end of September of last year, the anhydrous ammonia leak that took place in the community. Obviously, it had an impact on so many levels. How's the community doing since then?
The community's getting back to normal. We still have a great deal of sorrow for the 5 people that lost their lives, plus the 5 that were in the hospital for a lengthy time. Our county coroners kept us up to date on those. All of them are out of the hospital, but some of them still have some continuing problems with that. But we're glad to hear that they're out of the hospital and hope they mend. But overall, the community is starting to get back to normal.
Okay, very good. Not going to ask any follow-up questions on that. I just thought I'd get a comment from you on that, since that did make a lot of airwaves at the time. So, okay, let's talk about some good things that are happening. And when I talk to community leaders like Dave, he's the village president of Teutopolis, new things. And so we're going to start with businesses, and let's talk about a few that you have given me a list on. And the first one you have listed is in a new larger building. It's called Designs Unlimited.
Designs Unlimited do a lot of shirts and stuff for your businesses, cups, logo apparel. And they were over just on the south side of the tracks, outgrew that building, so they went into our new commercial park, built a new building there, which is probably doubled or tripled their size. And
wow.
So they just moved in about a year and a half ago.
Fantastic. So a business that was here,
yes,
and was able to stay here and keep
and hopefully enlarge their workforce too, is what their goal is.
All right, very good. Next one on the list, and it has a name in there that is in your last name, Repking Eye Care.
Repking Eye Care, I'm very proud to say, is an optometry clinic going to be opened up by my son.
Okay.
I graduated of VIU, graduated from Southern College of Optometry in 2015. He's worked locally for the past 7 to 8 years, and something he's wanted to do, so he's actually starting up his own business. And should be open hopefully by the 1st of March.
1st of March, very good. And again, a community of this size to have available medical care like
yes.
that. It's what a shot in the arm for the community.
Oh, it is. I mean, our medical clinic is still doing good. Young gentleman, Dwayne Kramer, started his own pharmacy a few years back, and he's really brought that up, enlarged and remodeled the building. And so we're hoping the same thing for Brian and his optometry practice.
All right, very good. You have an abbreviation here on this next one here. What does that stand for? And tell us about it. It's in a new building.
Yeah, SRMD, for lack of a better term, they're like a tool and die maker. They make parts for machinery that are spec. They were in Diederich. They were looking for a bigger area to move and found our lots over here in the commercial park, and they brought along about 25 to 26 employees. and they got opened up just about a year ago.
And I recognize the equipment. It's Bobcat, so we're talking about some
Bobcat equipment.
Good size
I
equipment.
believe they opened up probably right around the time you interviewed the last time. I
Okay.
remember going to the grand opening was about that time. And
Okay.
yeah, they've got a lot of sales. I'll go by there and see some of the equipment. All of a sudden it's gone, and they're replenished within a couple of weeks. So apparently they're doing very well.
And good to hear a business having to move, but not too far away, staying in the area.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, very good. Something that I learned about with the Teutopolis, This Is Our Story program, and was obviously something that I believe I asked you last time, that new subdivision to the southeast part of town, the Prairie Subdivision, continues to prosper, and they're on to phase 2.
Prairieview, yes. We're phase 2 is just about sold out. We had a total of between phase 1 and phase 2 of 59 lots, and to date we have all but 8 of them sold. Now some of them are still waiting to start on their houses for spring, but yeah, we've just got about 8 lots left.
Okay.
So we're looking to start another one someplace as soon as we can find some ground.
I'm just curious, this is kind of a follow-up question to that. Are these T-Town residents that are already here that are looking to move out there, or are you getting some interest from people outside of the community?
It's kind of been both. We've had some people move in from Effingham into the new subdivision. We've had some people that built a larger home and then sold their home as a starter home, and we've actually had some people that have returned to the area that may have grown up here in Teutopolis, have been out working in Chicago or wherever and decided to move back in their later years. So,
for folks at home that may have missed the first time I interviewed you, and or the Teutopolis This Is Our Story program, a community of this size, that's a big deal to be able to build a new subdivision.
It is, it is. I mean, we are a lot like our neighboring town, Diederich. We noticed our school population was kind of going down a little bit, so we put our heads together, the past boards did, with the school board, and came up with this idea, and so far it's working out great.
Okay, fantastic. And you have some grants, and the first one is a Safe Routes to Schools grant that will help out with the new subdivision to the grade school, because they're
Right.
on the same side of town.
Yeah, we built a new subdivision. A lot of them, folks out there have kids, and we needed to get some decent sidewalks in to where they could walk, since this was farm ground before, and we did receive that grant from the state. So we're in the process of now getting the right-of-ways and get everything in so we can get the sidewalks in and done, and maybe some little bit of road reconstruction there by the school.
All right. Very important to have safe ways for the kids to get to and from school. Very good. Also, you have a grant that was approved by one of your local congressmen for nearly $2 million.
Yes, Congressman Mike Bost. We had found out about a grant called a STAG grant.
Okay.
We actually got this put together in a week, got it sent to him, and he has said that we should get the grant. Us and I think there's 2 or 3 other communities. We're just waiting it. It's in the budget. The entire budget needs to be passed on a federal level, and then we should have the grant.
And what is this grant going to help out with?
We've got some old cast iron water lines still here and there in the village, and it just will improve our water quality.
And that's without saying is very important, and to replace old water lines is a great thing for current and future residents.
Yes.
Okay, very good. You also have an engineering grant for Unsewered Communities grant, and tell us about that one.
Well, we've got a couple sections of town that do not have sewer in that area yet. They're still on septics. Some of them are on the very south part of town as they go out of town. And then there's a subdivision to the east, a decent sized subdivision that's not in the village limits, but it's close enough. So we decided to go after this grant. We were awarded a $250,000 engineering grant so we can get everything up to where we need it and then apply for the other grant. That way we'll have the engineering done. Should have a better chance of achieving that grant.
And everyone would be regular sewer.
Yes.
All right, very good. In my last community that I taped in was in Taylorville, and they had a lot of grants that were helping out with projects now and moving forward. And we've just reeled off 3 grants. And Dave, the importance of grants to a community.
It is. I mean, it's hard of a community our size when you're trying to come up with a $2 million project here and another $2 million over there without taxing the people to death. And it is a good program.
All right, very good. Any other public works that you can tell us? We're taping at the beginning of the new year. So any projects later this year that you can speak of that people should know about?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. This water project, we've been talking around and kicking it down the road a little bit for 20 years, and we want to get it done. It's a big one that we need to have done, so hopefully it's going to come to fruition.
Fantastic. And again, we're this beautiful building. we taped in it the last time, and community is still continuing to enjoy this beautiful new village hall.
It's about 3 years old, yes.
Wow, 3 years has gone by?
About 3 years have gone by already since we've been in here. Yeah, it's a nice building, a lot larger than what the other one was. I mean, it's up to date. We've got solar on the roof, and
wonderful.
You know, it's very nice.
And the last time we taped it was sunny, so it is a cloudy day, but you do have a beautiful view behind us. Can't see it that great because it is a dark, cloudy
Beautiful
day.
mural on the side of Seymour
Yes.
Milling. Weber's has a nice, beautiful mural on the side of their building. Kenner's has one on the side of theirs, so it's...
A lot of murals in town.
Yeah, a lot of pride in the community.
Speaking of pride in the community, and this was not on the list of questions, I know this happened recently because I've been doing a lot of high school basketball on the radio, and congratulations to the community. You had a recent celebration celebrating 100 years of Teutopolis boys basketball. When people hear the name Teutopolis, if they're not from here, say they're up in northern Illinois, somewhere else in Illinois, they hear the name Teutopolis, they're probably thinking about that Wooden Shoes program. What an amazing celebration. I heard it was a grand event.
It was great. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there. My wife had surgery, but it was a great event and honored a tradition that's gone on, like you say, for 100 years.
When people talk about Teutopolis and they hear about the Wooden Shoes, and I know all the Wooden Shoes athletes are tremendous in all the sports, but when you're kind of known in the community for that one thing, that's T-Town Wooden Shoes basketball. I know the girls program has been just as successful, but to celebrate 100 years, and the people that I saw in the pictures, Coach Crawford, a number of people came back. What does that boys basketball program and just the basketball program mean to this community?
It means everything to this community. You can't go in the gymnasium on a home game and hardly find a seat. I mean, it's just from kids from being 8, 9, 10 years old. There was a picture here at the Teutopolis Banquet Center that a citizen had posted. We're out in the snow. The kids were out there shooting baskets, and he said, "My son's doing that right now. He's in the 6th grade." So that just goes to show that these kids, it's part of their makeup. It's basketball and sports. The baseball team has had quite a bit of success too in the past few years. So it's all around.
I like to say to people out there that this community is like this community, and I say, and that community is kind of like T-Town. They like to win. They're very competitive in their sports, and I think it starts with the basketball program.
Exactly.
All right, very good. Dave, I have nothing else listed on here at this time. Is there anything else you'd like to share about the new year in Teutopolis?
Not at this time. I mean, we got a lot of projects that we're working on, thinking about, but until we get everything done, we've got a new comprehensive plan we want to start on, so we can guide us for the next 10, 15 years and then update it from time to time. So we hope to be kicking that off this spring.
And that would be a plan for the next handful of years for the community moving forward?
Right, and it gives us something to go back to, see where we're accomplished, see if there's something on there that we may need to change, that our direction may have changed on something, but it gives you a guide.
Gives you a guide, and those plans are definitely a guide, and we look forward to catching up with Dave and see how that plan is going and what's next for Teutopolis. But a lot of good things going on with the grants, the subdivision, and being able to highlight those Wooden Shoes is always a good conversation. Dave Repking,
Great.
Village President of Teutopolis, always a pleasure, sir.
Thank you again.
Thank you very much. Coming up next here on City Spotlight, we'll change locations and communities as we head over to Toledo and catch up on the latest with Cumberland Schools. But first, let's take a look at some of the upcoming activities going on in the communities of Teutopolis and Toledo. And we're back here on City Spotlight, this latest City Spotlight episode featuring two communities here in Season 10. We've traveled from Teutopolis to Toledo, and we're back at the Cumberland Schools. And to help us out here, as we tape here at the Cumberland Schools District offices, we welcome back to the program a familiar guest of the program, Todd Butler, Superintendent of Cumberland Schools. Todd, it's great to see you again.
Good to see you. Welcome back.
Glad to be back. It's been a little while since we've taped with Todd. We taped with him just prior to the start of the pandemic at the end of 2019, and this is the third time on the program for Todd, so glad to be back with you, Todd, and also back in the school district offices here in Cumberland Schools. And again, last time we taped with Todd was just prior to the pandemic, so 4 years. I'm not going to ask you about the trials and what it was like to educate during that time, but I think the answer, I know what the answer is going to be that you're going to give me to my question is, what are some things that that are positives that you were able to get out of the pandemic now 4 years later? Was it technology? What was it?
Oh, definitely technology, patience, hard work.
Patience.
We know for sure that kids belong in school. Remote learning is a tough way to teach children. Kids learn best when they're in the classroom.
Okay, very good. And what is, maybe give me an example of the obvious technology that I think every school district, regardless of size, had to utilize during the pandemic. Give me an example of some of the technology that you're still using now.
Well, we're one-to-one with Chromebooks. During the pandemic, we also invested in some mobile hotspots for families that weren't able to afford the internet or even have access to internet. Interactive classroom smart boards in every one of our classrooms, the large LED interactive panels.
Right.
Just a lot of different technologies that we were beginning to use prior to the pandemic that we've just maintained and built on.
So your teachers, some of them had been already kind of using them, and so they were able to kind of adapt in their teaching style.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Thank you for that comment there about how the schools maneuvered through COVID and utilized the things that were positives, I guess you could say. Let's talk about your two buildings. Let's get an update on that. I taped with you last, I think the first time was 2018. So let's get an update on your two buildings. Obviously, we're situated here between Toledo and Greenup off Illinois Route 121. And what are some notable physical changes that have happened maybe in the last year?
Yeah, in the last year we've completely revamped the HVAC system at the grade school. We've gone to a geothermal system in all the classrooms. At the high school we are looking into some upgrades with the heat and air, ventilation. Right now we're uncertain what direction we'll go with the high school, but right now the system at the grade school is working well. There's always, with all new things, there are some bumps in the road, but we're working our way through that with our contractors.
I forgot to mention at the beginning of the taping of this episode with Todd, we're taping here at the end of January 2024. The high school, just to refresh everyone's memory, is 70 plus years old. The elementary middle school is approaching 6 years old. So again, I've asked this question to many superintendents and educators, the challenges of maintaining and functionally educating in older buildings.
Well, it's a challenge all the time. You know, every superintendent would love to have a new building, but supportive communities and being supportive of your community, you've got to be, responsible and do with what you have the best you can. And we're fortunate; both buildings are very sound. But again, it would be great to have a brand new building. But we're satisfied and happy with what we have here.
We're taping in a different room than I taped with you. The first time I taped with you, I think it was your physical office room, and there's a small picture. I don't know if it's visible on the wide shot there, but it's a shot of the high school being built. You're from this area. Can you believe it?
Yeah, it was early 50s. Right up here on the wall, there's the original aerial photo of the high school being built. Of course, the grade school wasn't there then, but there's it's a good conversation piece. Early 50s, and the structure's still sound, and it's doing well.
And it's between two of the major communities in the county, so the location is perfect. And I'm sure that was intentional on that. Last time we taped with Todd was the 2019-20 school year. And that was the first year of the Cumberland County CEO program. What other opportunities have evolved since then for students to utilize those skill learning opportunities?
Yeah, for a small school district, I feel like this school or a community, our students have a lot of opportunities in-house and out-of-house. CEO program, the LIFT program that's in Mattoon,
Oh, great.
Health Oc. Some classes at Lakeland College, along with just, I think, over 25 different clubs and
Wow.
extracurricular.
Fantastic.
For a district of 1,000 students, a little less than 1,000, feel like our students have a lot of opportunities in-house, and even as they advance into high school, leaving the Cumberland campus and going to a LIFT program or a CEO program or even a class at Lakeland.
I remember the first time I interviewed some of the counties and school districts that were utilizing CEO for the first time. And I joked that it's like, wow, that would have been cool if they had that around when I was going to school in Charleston. There are so many opportunities for these students to learn and find maybe what's their niche post high school.
And all the outside opportunities, and CEO included. We hope that our students take advantage of those programs, life skill programs.
Okay, very good. What feedback have you heard from students and educators about these extracurricular or other opportunities?
Right. Your Health Ox students and your LIFT program students have and CEO have always had positive experiences. The clubs and the athletic teams are also, there's something for all of our students to participate in and be a part of, starting even with the community sponsored, the youth football programs and your youth wrestling programs, all are feeder programs for our high school as they get into high school. All positive, and as a parent or a community member, you'd like to that your son or daughter has the opportunity to be a part of a spring play. We're getting ready to Shrek Junior in March.
It's that time of year.
where a lot of our students are involved in that. Community comes together. It's held every March at a local church, a Toledo Christian Church.
Right.
So I feel like it's a good place to raise a family, and for students to be involved. There's something for all of them.
You mentioned LIFT in Mattoon, and it's amazing how many communities, school districts have a student or students. Do you, off the top of your head, how many students do you know at this school?
I think we have two. And the thing that each school district has a certain number of seats that Mattoon offers us, and it's like CEO and Health Oc. You try to get your kids to explore and see if that's something for them, and hopefully as the years go on with LIFT, we get more kids to be involved, and Health Oc's always we have several kids involved in that, and CEO it's kind of a roller coaster. You hope your kids take advantage of it.
Absolutely, great opportunities there. Any new programs or curriculum that have popped about in the school district in recent times?
Every year the school board looks at curriculum updates and literacy, some math curriculum, also some supportive type software programs that you try to get into your kids' hands. But every year our school boards look at that.
Okay, very good. Prior to taping here with Todd, I went back and watched the first two times I've taped with Todd, especially that first one, and you were obviously very familiar with this school district, attended here, and have held many positions, and now you are 10 years as superintendent of this school district here in Cumberland County. What have you enjoyed about being an educator here in Cumberland County?
The supportive community, great kids, excellent staff. It's a good place to, attend as a student. It's a great place to work. Like you said, I graduated from Cumberland, 1987, and all along the way, it's just like this has been the place that you're comfortable and you enjoy, and you see things change, and you always hope it's for the better. And as you go through your career, there's always a transition, whether it be a teacher or a coach or even a superintendent. And, that's something that's coming, in the near future for Cumberland. This I'll be one more year as the superintendent here and be retiring, and that'll be the transition.
Right.
But every year you have that
Right.
type of transition in a school district.
Everybody enters into a different time in their career and how long they've been there. And congratulations on all your contributions here. And we are appreciative of all 3 times we've been able to sit down with you, Todd. So you did mention the musical is getting underway there, and look forward to that in the spring here in the communities. And we're taping again here late January 2024. What's something else you're looking forward to the rest of this school year?
Well, you always look forward to spring, getting through the gloomy weather.
Right.
Spending your time indoors, being able to get outside. Track season, baseball, softball season. It's nice to get to that warmer weather.
All right, very good. We've been catching up on Cumberland Schools here on City Spotlight with Todd Butler, Superintendent of Cumberland Schools. Todd, if I'm not able to interview you before you retire, thank you so much for your time here on City Spotlight and for all your contributions to the school district and the county.
Well, thank you very much.
Appreciate it. We've caught up on 2 communities in this episode here of City Spotlight, Teutopolis and Toledo. Thank you for watching this latest on-location episode of City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com.